Julián Castro is leading the conversation about how to imagine a new framework for immigration laws, how to really address the cruelty of our immigration enforcement system. And he challenged Beto O'Rourke, and frankly, he challenged the whole field to stop using the same old framework of comprehensive immigration reform that essentially, for the last 20 years, presented a solution to the broken immigration system that said legalization for some in exchange for the militarization of the border, more deportations, more detentions, essentially more cruelty towards immigrant families. Julián Castro is saying the first thing we have to do is stop the worst part of our immigration system, which is the denial of asylum cases for people that come to the ports of entry, the criminalization of migration, the criminalization of desperation, which is there are sections in the law that have enabled the Trump administration to essentially grab adults that are coming to our borders in search of refuge, treat them as people who have broken criminal laws and separate them from their children, essentially causing a generation of damage to thousands and thousands of children who are now sitting in jail-like facilities in Florida, in Texas, and in states across the country.
And Beto O'Rourke would not sign on to this. He would not call for removal of that section that was put into place some 90 years ago.
That's right. What Julián said was there are senators in Massachusetts and senators in New Jersey, both two states that are not border states, who have better policies, more humane ideas about how to treat people who are coming to our borders. And Julián has actually presented a very comprehensive, very visionary idea of how to treat immigrants as human beings and really transform the immigration system.
And what about Cory Booker? He was also asked what he would do when he was asked what he would do on day one if he were elected. He focused exclusively on immigration policies. Your response to the points that he made?
I think Senator Booker and many of the other candidates understand that in order to respond to the Trump administration's scapegoating of immigrants, they need to present a vision that is fundamentally different, a vision that is rooted in the idea that we can and should be an inclusive society, and that in order to be that, we need to make sure that we are not treating people in the most inhumane ways as the Trump administration has. So the candidates like Booker, like Castro, like Senator Warren, who are actually leaning into the issue of immigration, are the ones that are essentially presenting like a much more clear contrast to the Trump administration. Those candidates, usually for a long time, Democrats have ran away from immigration. They consider this issue a dangerous issue in elections, and they run away from it. And when they run to it, they say, well, we need to enforce our laws in order to give people some reprieve, in order to give people some path to citizenship. That framework has not worked. It has only resulted in more detentions, more deportations. It has resulted in the deaths of people at the border, the death of Oscar and Valeria and many, many others. And we need to change that, and they need to present a vision that is totally different.
And you're talking about Oscar and Valeria, the 25-year-old dad and his little 23-month-old girl, Valeria, who's now pictured by a Mexican journalist face down in the Rio Grande, drowned, has been the backdrop of this week, both around the immigration bill in Congress, around these debates. You have Klobuchar, Senators Klobuchar and Warren going to the Homestead facility. 2,300 unaccompanied minor migrant children are jailed there. Yes. And you have General Kelly, President Trump's former chief of staff, now on the board of Caliburn that runs that facility. Congress members are asking for him to be investigated. But you have Biden speaking tonight, who has been the vice president for 8 years under Obama. And although there's no question Trump has taken the terror and the brutality against migrants to a new height, President Obama built up the infrastructure. What do you expect Biden to say?
I don't expect vision from Biden. I don't expect that much courage from Biden. Biden is responsible for the passage of the '94 crime bill, which resulted in the massive expansion of criminalization, mass incarceration in our country, investment in the militarization of police across the country. Senator Biden is not someone who we can expect to lead on issues of criminal justice and racial justice. But it is there is a tremendous opportunity for Democrats to actually part ways with their own history. It is true that under Obama, immigrant families suffered tremendous levels of criminalization, of deportation. He helped expand the detention apparatus, a lot of which is a for-profit system. 70% of people who are in immigrant detention centers are sitting in for-profit cells with people like John Kelly making money for every child that is incarcerated in Homestead. So we need to end the entanglement of our government with for-profit companies that are making money from the caging of children and families, and we need to make sure that the policies that have resulted in so many deaths, so many family separations, so much cruelty at the border and in the interior are fundamentally changed.